All right, it's nice to meet you. Before we start, I think we wanted to introduce ourselves. We'll go down in order. If Dr. Chung wants to start.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Wei-Yan Chung. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a psychologist at CPS or the Counseling Services. And just to share a little bit of what brought me to this work, having been a non-traditional international student myself, I was born in the US, but grew up for the first half of my life in Hong Kong. I have always been passionate about acculturation, identity formation, race related stress, and experiences of microaggression. And college is a time where a lot of this can happen, whether or not you are an international student. It's a time where so many things in an individual's life is in flux. And I think what drew me to this work is being able to be a support through that and bear witness to a person's growth in such a dynamic time, which can be so rewarding.
Hi, my name is Arthur Rowe. I use he, him pronouns. I'm Korean American. I'm originally from California. One of the things that brought me to this work is that I myself, my first experience with counseling and therapy was in my undergrad. And I was coming in for anxiety and stress around school and relationships. And I found that to be a very helpful space. And it sparked a passion and curiosity to pursue it further. So I'm really happy to now be working here at Columbia and to help our students here as well. So it's really nice to meet everyone.
And I'm Paula Sands. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a very new psychologist here at CPS. I wish I had known about my my college's counseling center. College was one of the more empowering times of my life and also one of the most difficult. And so I utilized therapy. I didn't know they had it on campus, so I really enjoy getting to be that on campus support now. I love working with college students. I think it's such a fun time in your life and also some of the more stressful times. And I enjoy getting to support sort of through all of that. So I'm very excited to be here.
All right, so what we'll be talking about today, we'll be going over who is counseling and psychological services, who do we serve, how we can prioritize our mental health at Columbia, and how to know when to reach out, and how to make an appointment as well, and what to do if I need to talk about the care I'm getting. So we'll be going over that today. So we'll start with who is counseling and psychological services. Counseling and Psychological Services, CPS for short, supports the psychological and emotional well-being of our Columbia community. The teams include psychologists, social workers, psychiatrists, and other health service assistants with lots of diverse backgrounds and experiences. Our providers speak multiple languages and are of various ethnicities. Um, we are also trained, and there are teams that are specifically focused on trauma, body image, veterans, gender affirming care, first generation students, and more. And so this really highlights how diverse our staff is and that we really try to make sure that we have the right fit for everyone here as well, or the best that we can do. Who do we serve? We serve any currently registered students on the Morningside or Manhattanville campus, and that includes Teachers College and all these students who have paid the full-time health and related service fees. We also see part-time students on the Columbia Student Health Insurance plan. Um, if you're on a different health insurance plan, like your parents or your spouse's plan, you can still be seen by us as long as you had paid the health and related service fee. You will only need to use your insurance plan if you see an off-campus mental health provider. But if you had paid the fee, you will be able to have services at CPS. And how can I prioritize my mental health at Columbia? This probably won't come as a surprise to you, but stress is a normal part of life. And everyone knows what stress feels like. Everyone has experienced stress. There are even good kinds of stress, ones that help you motivate and drive you to go beyond what you thought you were capable of in the classroom, on stage, or on the playing field. But there are also moments when the stress can be overwhelming and unproductive or even harmful. And that's when you feel distress. And there are a variety of strategies that you can use to cope. So what are some strategies that you can use to cope? And there's a list right here: talking to a friend, meditation or deep breathing, engaging in a creative outlet, getting your body moving, making sure you get enough sleep, definitely making sure you take some scheduled breaks as well, and lots of others that we can talk about. For me, I really like, I have a dog, so I really enjoy walking my dog, petting my dog. It really gives me a soothing sense and a break from my stress, and that's something I do to help me with my stress, as well as journaling to write out your thoughts. Sometimes our mind is so overwhelmed with stress, it's helpful to write these things down, our feelings, our thoughts, to help us organize and feel as though we're processing some of that. All right, so if you're not sure where to start, you can make a drop-in or a health education appointment or come in for a health promotion appointment with our colleagues at Alice Health Promotion. Okay, so I'm going to pass it off to our Dr. Chung.
Thanks, Arthur. So I'll be covering how to know when to reach out. Slide, please. Thank you. So if some of those strategies that Arthur had mentioned aren't helping and you're still feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or even before getting to a point where you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed and you're just kind of seeking someone to talk to, that's where we can help. That's where CPS can help. So CPS services include individual counseling, support groups, drop-in hours, psychiatric services, medication management, referrals for off-campus care as well. CPS also provides students with 24-hour support for urgent mental health concerns, and we'll get a little bit more into that as we move on. Slide, please. So in terms of the short-term individual counseling, it can be an opportunity to talk with a mental health professional regarding concerns such as stress, feelings of low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, academic concerns, substance use issues, issues with friends, family, or any other relationship concerns. And those are just to name a few. However, any reason that someone wants to reach out to talk to someone is a valid reason to consider therapy. And we really see a range of that in the work that we do. So counseling sessions last usually about 45 minutes each time. While there's no specific limit on the number of sessions you can have, services are focused on short-term care. They're designed to help students improve coping skills, better manage distress, or navigate other emotional or mental health concerns. Slide, please. Thank you. Support groups provide an opportunity to share experiences with peers, get support from your peers, and each semester, CPS staff facilitate groups on a variety of topics. So this semester, we have 10 plus different support spaces and workshops offered. And some of those topics may include anxiety management, mindfulness, eating concerns, trauma support, bereavement, identity, and improving romantic relationships. And they change each semester too. And we usually suggest for students to make sure to check the website and what's being offered regularly in each semester. Usually in the first week or two, we update that list. Slide, please. Thank you. So moving on to our drop-in hours. Drop-in hours are an opportunity to see a CPS provider on the same day during the academic semester. We offer a number of drop-in hours depending on what your needs might be. So one kind of drop-in hour is the urgent mental health concerns drop-in hours, and it's for when you're experiencing high levels of distress. And you can stop by Lerner Hall 502 Mondays through Thursdays from 5:30 to 8 p.m. and check-in closes at 7:30 p.m. Another kind of drop-in hour is the problem-solving drop-in, and that's a one-time conversation to talk to a clinician about an everyday life concern that might be impacting your emotional well-being. And they occur at various times throughout the week and different locations on campus in different academic buildings and even in some undergrad residence halls. There are also drop-in hours that are specific to students with multicultural concerns, gender and sexual health concerns, and student-athlete concerns. So you can find all of the dates and locations on our website. And then just generally about drop-in hours operate on a first-come, first-served basis. So there may be a brief wait if the counselor is in with another student, just to sort of like set expectations. And then just remember that these drop-in hours are supplementary and they're not a substitute for therapy or other appropriate treatment options. Slide, please. Thank you. In terms of psychiatric care and medication management, psychiatrists can help evaluate concerns and advise on and prescribe medication as needed. If you start at Columbia already having been prescribed medication with a provider, a CPS psychiatrist would still need to do a thorough assessment and an evaluation before prescribing any medication for you. If you are prescribed medication, the psychiatrist will meet with you periodically to make sure it's working as it should. After the evaluation, the psychiatrist may recommend treatment other than medication as well. And you may also decide not to take medication. Whenever I refer a student to a psychiatrist, I remind them that this is their treatment and they have the agency over what they decide to do at any point in treatment, and the final decision is up to you. Thank you. And then covering some on our referrals for off-campus treatment. So many students are able to get the support they need through the short-term individual counseling that we do here at CPS, but others may want or require more specialized longer-term care or more frequent, consistent care. These students may benefit from a referral to an off-campus mental health provider. To get that referral, you would need to meet with a social worker at CPS to talk with you about what your needs are and to provide the official referral form that's required if you are on the Columbia Student Health Insurance Plan. But we also assist students on other insurance plans to locate providers or clinics who accept whatever insurance they might have. And then next slide, please. Thank you. And then sometimes when stress escalates and becomes more of a crisis situation, this can sometimes feel like intense confusion, anxiety, helplessness, where you may feel overwhelmed and unable to cope. Some people describe it as a feeling of hopelessness, or not knowing a way out or who to turn to for help. And if you are experiencing something like this, just know that you can always call us at any time of day or night, and a provider will assess your concern and recommend the next steps for your care. And on that slide, that 212-854-2878 is our 24/7 number. So really 2, 3, 4 in the morning, if you ever just need to speak with someone, you can always call that number. And then for a psychiatric emergency, you can also go directly to the Mount Sinai Morningside Emergency Room located at 113th and Amsterdam Ave, and their number is there on the slide, the 212-523-3347. And then I will pass on to my colleague Paula for this next part.
Thank you. So we gave you a bunch of great information, and now you might be wondering how you make the appointment with us. Perfect, thank you. So there's a lot of different options as we went over at CPS, and so the kind of appointment that you need might vary. However, we have a pretty organized way to help you figure that out if you need help figuring it out or to connect you to that. And it's called our treatment planning session. So this is the first appointment that you can schedule with us, and we've got two options for you. You can either schedule it through your patient portal online and book it that way, or you can call our office and schedule an appointment that way. And then you'll meet with one of the providers here at CPS. We'll help assess what you need and help connect you to those services. If you heard about the support groups and the support spaces and you know that's what you're looking for, the website is a great place to look at that, and that has information for each of those on how to join the one that interests you. And as we went over, we have the one-time visits for any of the drop-in options, and all of that information is also on the website. Next slide. So if you've gotten some care at CPS and you want to talk about that care that you've received with somebody, what do? We've got information for that as well. So if you have something that you'd want to talk about regarding one of your visits at CPS, you can drop into a virtual care navigation visit. These are run by our social workers. So you can give them feedback about whatever it is around your care that you need to talk about. So this could be things like switching providers, planning for your care, if you go home and you're out of state for a while, or any other comments about or concerns that you have about the care that you've received. These visits are typically brief, and if the matter isn't resolved during the visit, our social workers will follow up either via phone or email. So now I'm going to go over the main points to take away from this. So one is that here at CPS, we're your first stop for any mental health care on campus. Like Arthur went over, stress is a normal part of life, but if you can't manage it on your own or you just feel like you need some extra support around it, CPS is here for you. We offer a variety of different resources, the individual short-term counseling, support groups, drop-ins, psychiatric service and medication management, as well as the referrals to off-campus providers. And we do have support for you 24/7. And then the next slide is a QR code so you can save our number if you need it. And then I'm gonna hand it back over to our Columbia Health support staff. Ooh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Paula. And thank you to our providers at CPS for a really wonderful explanation of how mental health care works at Columbia. As you've all heard, it's a really robust offering. There are many ways to get connected, and there are many ways to get help. So thank you for being here today to learn about how you can be supported while you're a student here.